Mike Harris, RacingToday.com. Jimmie, you know, the whole talk for the last couple of days has been about last week, the rough driving and you know, what we might be expecting in these next few races and so forth. Then we have a race like today where we have 4 caution flags and only 2 in the first 280-some laps. Are you a little surprised at how clean today's race was?
To be honest, I'm confused. For a while there, our sport was boring. Then we wrecked the crap out of them last week, and then all of a sudden we got a problem because everybody's wrecking. And then now this week it wasn't as exciting. I don't know how to really respond anymore to the questions, to be honest with you. I think at the end of the day, the cars are so equal that it is very frustrating inside the car. And I saw things today out of guys that I've raced with for years that I did not expect to see. So the frustration is there. When you have a chance to send someone, you're going to take it. It's just that energy exists right now in the garage area. And maybe guys didn't have their opportunities today, but it's a long season, and you get the right opportunity, I still think you will see it. So I just don't know how to really think, though, like I was saying, in the big picture, because I think we're doing very exciting things on the racetrack, and I would assume that a lot of people, that's what they've been hoping for and wanting for a long time. So you got to be careful what you wish for, I guess.
All right, we're going to finish up down here with Dustin, Jim, and Mike.
I'm really confused. What's that?
Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers. Jimmie, can you explain or define how you go from aggression to analysis, essentially, those last few laps? Being able to drive with that sense of aggression, but keeping it maybe in control, or am I giving you too much credit and you were just a madman behind the wheel in essence? And if you've learned this, how did you go through this process, and is there a time that stands out when that aggression hurts you?
You know, experience helps you maintain and do the right things in those moments. The first lap that he got by me, I changed my reference points on the track. I drove a different line. The car didn't act how I needed it to, and I lost a little ground to him on that first lap. And I thought, you know what, just out of my rhythm, out of sync, furious, and that helped me really focus. I'm like, you know what, if I don't block this out and focus on what I did all day long, the line I drove to set my race car up, I won't even have a chance to get to him. So I went back to my rhythm and doing my thing, and when I got 2 or 3 corners behind me, a lot of that frustration went by, left, and my goal was just get close enough to him because I will win this race. You know, I was going to pay him back. The opportunity came, and I had plenty of time left, and I knew that I was better than he was. And in 3 or 4 short laps, my blood pressure returned to a normal state, and you know, I handled it in the correct manner. So I don't know what really does it. I have to put a lot of weight in the fact that I knew that if I didn't drive my rhythm and how the car needed to be driven, I wouldn't even have a chance to win the race. And I think that rhythm kind of brought me back around and got me thinking clearly again.
So was there a time that you didn't regain that rhythm and it cost you in your work?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything off the top of my head, any particular instances, but you make plenty of mistakes through at the end of a race, through the race, at different points in the race when something goes on, and you just constantly grow in that department. So,
Jim Uttershaw, Observer. Chad, from as long as you've been working with Jimmie, when this incident first took place, kind of similar to Dustin's questions, what were your first thoughts? Were you thinking Jimmie's going to be pissed, he's going to go out there and try to wreck him? I mean, because obviously in this instance the laps were winding down quite quickly. You still had an opportunity to win.
You know, I don't know what went through my head. I knew that the thing that I had to try to do was try to get in Jimmie's head and get him calmed down as best I could. You know, tried to explain to him that there were laps to go, that he had plenty of time, that the car was faster than his, and then than what Kurt's was. And I felt like once he went a couple of laps, if we could at least maintain that distance with Kurt, we'd be okay. Because like he said, you know, Jimmie calms down quite quickly, you know, once he gets in the race car and gets into a rhythm. So once we got a couple laps into it, it was real simple to say, all right, buddy, you're doing a good job. You still got 4 to go, or whatever the situation was. And then obviously it's a very soothing feeling when you see the car that you're trying to catch in front of you and you're closing on him, you know, 10 car lengths a lap or whatever it was. So we were catching him rather quickly. But other than that, That wasn't that big a deal. I mean, I hated it. I didn't want it to go down like that. I would have rather just checked out, obviously, but definitely made it pretty damn exciting.
Mike, and then we'll close out with Tom.
Chad, obviously we talked a lot about Jimmie's composure and his championship medal, but did this team arrive here not just for the start of the chase, but in full chase mode now? And you guys are you're beginning your drive right now instead of waiting till, 9 races from now?
We're still trying to find our foothold on where we want the race cars and what we're looking for. I think that with what we saw today, there's ways that we can make our race car considerably better for when we come back, so I'm excited about that. We had a good race car, but I think we can be much, much better when we come. But, we're not focused on the chase right now. Obviously, we're taking good notes. Here, we ran well. Dover, we ran very well. Those are 2 very important races that are in the chase. So we've got those in our pocket, and we've got the setups that we ran here in our pocket. But we're worried about making the chase, and that's what we've got to do. We're focused on that. If you lose sight of that goal, something could jump up and bite you, and you won't even make it. So that's what we're worried about right now.
Tom Bowles, SIandFrontstretch.com. Chad, I know when the new spoiler came out, you guys maybe fell a little bit behind Gibbs. Gibbs came out firing, but now it seems like you guys have your first win on an oval with the new spoiler, and the organization as a whole ran well today. Gordon had a top 5 car. Junior was up there all day.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say you've gotten over the hump there with those challenges that you found?
Yeah, I don't think it really was a big spoiler thing. Denny won at Texas, but if we'd have went another corner, we'd have passed Denny and we'd have won that race. We had the fastest car at that track. So, some of the other races, Dover, I feel like that we had the best race car there, especially for the long run. Kyle had the best car for the short run at the end of the race. I think that it's easy to get misconstrued once again and see that we don't have what it is that we need. Are we as fast as we want to be? Absolutely not. No, we're always looking for an advantage. Somebody asked me earlier today, I don't know who it was, I think it was Marty Snyder, and he said, man, are you experimenting? Are you doing this? Are you running the same stuff? I don't think you guys understand. We've never run the same setup twice anywhere at any racetrack. We don't do that. We don't have a setup, a pocket setup, say, hey, we're going to take this out and put this in because that worked well last time we were here. We're always experimenting. We're always trying new things. We're always trying to improve. Have we caught the Gibbs cars? I don't know that we've ever really lost touch with them. Are we trying to improve our product? Absolutely.
Gentlemen, congratulations and thank you for your time.